Hi, Eric Lanask here at Wearable Tech Expo in Las Vegas. Joining me now is Randy Bergstedt from Epson. Randy, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So, Epson and wearables, I think most people, certainly most people I know, would associate Epson with things like printers, fax machines, other office equipment, things like that. Where does Epson fit into the wearable space?
It's a great question. It's one we get a lot. And Epson's heritage really comes back to watches as the Seiko Epson Corporation. So our foundation, that's the name of our company in Japan, and our foundation really comes from building watches and doing technology and bringing technology into the watch space. So we build all of the Seiko watches that are distributed by Seiko Instruments. And so that's part number one. And number two is we've had a team of engineers developing sensing technologies for over 20 years that we have sold as OEM parts to other companies. So our motion sensors are used by John Deere and in aerospace and other industries. Our GPS chips, we started building GPS chips 20 years ago in 1995 when they declassified the satellites, and those will show up in cell phones, industrial equipment, all kinds of different applications as well. So for us to put our sensing technologies together with our watchmaking skill, it's a natural extension internally. Obviously, externally, where we're known for printers and projectors and other things, it may seem like a stretch, but it's really an area where we have some true core competencies.
So how do those core competencies now extend into what you're actually doing in the wearable space?
So really, we focus on three areas of sensing: biosensing, location sensing, and motion sensing. And so the location sensing obviously is GPS. That's integrated into all of our GPS running watches. So we're tracking time, distance, pace, those kinds of things. Our motion sensing technology is used both in sensing steps and stride in our fitness and running products, and then also in our golf product. We monitor the golf swing to an incredible level of detail with our really high-end motion sensing. And then on the biosensing side, we're measuring heart rate from the wrist, so you don't have to wear a chest strap for those athletes who want to measure their heart rate.
So when a lot of the capabilities and the features that you've mentioned are certainly a competitive market that's heating up. There's a lot of different products out there. What differentiates one vendor from the next, and more importantly, maybe what's going to create that innovation or that differentiator for winning products?
I think it's going to come down to the core technology and being able to continue to grow and innovate the technology so that it gets smaller, it gets more accurate, and it requires less battery life. So the advantage we have in that space is that we're doing all the development ourselves, and the development is for this purpose. So the efficiencies we gain in shrinking the chips, getting the battery to be super efficient, and then the size and weight of the product gets smaller, which is more convenient, more comfortable for the wearer.
How do you get people to want to use these kinds of devices? In other words, how do you define what the use case is, and how do you get users to understand the benefits?
I think it comes down to really understanding the specifics of the different customers. So, for instance, the running customer is very different than the fitness tracker customer and what they're looking for. So the person buying a GPS running watch, they typically want data. They want to know what their stride length is. They want to know their split times every mile. They want to know how that hill affected their time. They want to know what happened to their heart rate. So it's a very data-centric kind of community that we're targeting with the running watches. Not every runner is that way, but that's who our watch is for people who want that. And then we've teamed up with a brand ambassador, Meb Keflezgy, who won the Boston Marathon in 2014, and he is a true user of the technology when he trains. He monitors things down to the second through all of his workouts, and so he's really reinforcing through the books he writes and the interviews he does the importance of understanding what's happening when you're running, and our watch really provides a lot of that insight.
Single function versus multifunction. Is one better than the other? Will one end up winning out?
I think that it really comes down to the use case. So like our golf product is single use. It is specific that for measuring this golf swing and for practice and improving your golf game. And trying to put more things into that just kind of almost ruins its effect and impact for that one use. Whereas a running watch, our running watch already does motion sensing, measuring your stride, biosensing, measuring your heart rate, and location sensing with GPS. And so that's already a multi-purpose thing for the runner. So what else would the runner like to have on his wrist? That's the big question. And so I think that's where we need to go as an industry, is really paying attention to what does our consumer need while they're doing that activity, and making sure we don't just pack multiple features into a product just for the sake of the technological challenge.
How important is fashion, the look of the device?
It's a great question. I think it's critical. I think fashion, not only the look, but really the comfort of the product. Sure. So it can look great, but not be comfortable, and they're going to buy it and then wear it for a short period of time and then abandon it because it just doesn't fit with their lifestyle. So I think we really, as an industry, need to make sure we're paying attention to the fashion and the fit and the comfort aspects of this category, so that we're convenient and allow people to make a statement when they want to make a statement, and be subtle when they want to be subtle, depending on their personality.
Excellent. Randy, thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure. Thank you.